All right. I want to start this lesson by giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah, Quadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles and teachers and wise men of great millstone that I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Salutations out there to the elect. All right. I want to do a quick lesson going into one of the signs that is going to signify Yahweh Shai's return. One of the signs that he mentioned, before he returns, that we should, pay attention to by measuring the times diligently. All right. So before I play the video, giving you an example of one of those signs, let's start right here in Matthew 24. Let's start at verse 3 to get some context. It says, and as he sat up on the Mount of Olives, this is talking about Yahushua. It says, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, he's mentioning his disciples. It says, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? You see? So his disciples wanted to know what would be the signs that would occur and when will the end of the world happen. And Yahushua said, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. It says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, or I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. So you're going to have many people claiming to be Yahushua himself, and many also saying, that they're anointed, that the Most High anointed them, to be in Yahushua's stead. And he said they shall deceive many. All right, let's scroll down. Verse 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, which we're hearing about that now. Russia and Ukraine, North Korea, and North Korea and another country that they're going up against. So basically, we're hearing wars and rumors of wars. We're in this time. It says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So we have more prophecy to come. You see, before the end of this empire, the end of the Roman Empire, the revised Roman Empire, like the MOTB, the Mark of the Beast, you see, Jacob's trouble. Those must occur before we reach the end of this place, before the downfall of this kingdom. But anyway, verse 7, it says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, which we're starting to see that now. You see, these other nations, they're starting to hate America, Babylon the Great, because of those tariffs, those taxes that they're putting on these other countries. Russia and China, they're going to join forces. North Korea also. These other nations, they're prophesied to come up against, America, the great whore, and they're going to burn it with fire. But day after day, we're getting close to that, you see. That's going to happen when World War III, reach the pinnacle of its, of its prophecy. All right, but let's continue to read. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So we're beginning to see the famines and the pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All right, it says all these are the beginning of sorrows. So we're in the beginning stages of all this. So let's play the video and give you an example of one of these, let's give you an example of those earthquakes, or of an earthquake happening in, let's see, this happened a week ago. It says, so I get back with me. It says more than 1,400 people unalived after Afghanistan earthquake. It says Taliban government says, you see. So this earthquake happened in a diverse place, which is a place, that's that's diverse from, where your location is, you see. So this is prophecy. All right, let's play the video.
In Afghanistan, where rescuers are struggling to reach villages and remote mountainous areas following the devastating earthquake that struck late on Sunday. The Taliban authorities now say more than 1,400 people have been killed, with at least 3,100 injured. Most of the deaths occurring in Kunar and Nangarhar provinces near the quake's epicenter. That's about 30 kilometers north of Jalalabad. The UN in Afghanistan has warned there's likely to be an exponential rise in casualty figures. Many survivors spending the night in the open after they had been pulled out of a mud and stone homes. You can see them here, built into steep valleys. Let's take you to our South Asia correspondent Azadeh Mashiri, who is monitoring developments for us from Islamabad. Azadeh, we see the death toll now rising, the amount of injured going up as well, and this was to be expected. But what are you hearing from inside Afghanistan?
Well, so that death toll is from the Taliban government. The United Nations and other aid groups are also trying to report on what the death toll is and what the casualty count is. The last we heard from the United Nations was that 800 were killed, according to their preliminary reports. All of this is partly this confusion and some of the numbers shifting is because these areas are so remote. They're mountainous regions, difficult to access, and also difficult to get information out.
And also, it's happening because the Lord is causing it to happen. Let's get this quick scripture. Let's see. Slovakia uproars. Slovakia uproars. People. Yeah, the Lord is beginning to visit this place. Let's go and get this scripture in 2nd Esdras 9. 2nd Esdras 9. Let's see. Let's start at verse 1. It says, this is Ezra, in the Bible. This is Ezra talking to an angel, about what shall occur in the end times. All right, this is 2nd Esdras, which Esdras is Ezra. This is chapter 9, verse 1. Let's start at 1. It says, and he answered me and said, measure thou the times diligently in themselves, or in itself. And when thou see part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, you see, part of those signs has passed already. You see, it says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. You see, so the Lord is beginning to visit this place. Let's get a quick precept and I'll come back to this. All right, let's go to Isaiah 9. Isaiah 29 and 6. It says, thou shalt be visited of the Lord, or of Yahweh of hosts, with thunder, with earthquake, with great noise, with storm and tempest, and with flame of devouring fire. You see, so that earthquake happened because the Lord is beginning to visit this place in the last days, beginning to visit this place, beginning to visit the earth with judgment. All right, it says, let's read it again. It says, then shalt thou understand that this is the very same time wherein the highest, the Most High Yahweh, will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, you see, that's happening now, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. It says, verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times of the highest have plain beginnings, and in wonder and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. You see, so the Lord is bringing an end to this place slowly. We're in the beginning stages of the end of the fall of Babylon. But first, we have to see signs. You see, uproars of the people in the world, earthquakes, like I read before in Matthew. So the Lord is beginning to visit this place even more. And eventually Babylon the Great, Babylon the Great, is going to be destroyed.
Also in Afghanistan, once people are killed, they're buried very quickly, and so not only is it difficult to get to those areas, but these bodies don't always make it to the nearest main hospital in Jalalabad, and therefore the casualty count doesn't always reveal the scale of the crisis that is going on there in Afghanistan. What the Taliban government has been insisting on is that they need international support. They need aid. And what we've heard so far is that several countries have pledged aid donations. Those include China, Switzerland, India has donated 1,000 tents. The United Kingdom has pledged £1 million in emergency funding that they've stressed is going through partners like the International Rescue Committee. And so it's worth saying that this is money is flowing in, but it's a complicated operation, and aid workers are warning they're not sure it's enough.
An urgent, overwhelming crisis. Officials worry many are still trapped. Rescuers struggle to reach everyone in need in these mountainous regions. Landslides have blocked off roads to the worst hit places. Most homes were made of stone, mud, and clay. Many are now flattened.
5 people were killed in this house and another 3 in the other house in the back. All were found, but 1 boy and 1 girl are still missing.
Medical teams say they're overwhelmed by the scale of the disaster. Filming women has been restricted, but men, women, and children are part of the casualties.
All right, I want to stop the video right here, because of YouTube's algorithm. I don't want them to, block this video. But as you can see, as we get closer and closer to the fall of America, Babylon the Great, the Lord is going to bring more judgment. He's going to visit this place even more with judgment. You see, as we get close to the fall of this kingdom. All right. I'll end the lesson here. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rikakwadash. Shalom.